G'day, Smutty Legends, and welcome back. We are up to chapter 14. As you can see, I'm not in my usual haunt. I'm away this week, so something a little bit different. That's why I'm a little bit late with last week's reading as well. So I'm just going to crack straight in. We're at chapter 14 with Tobias. If you remember, Nick and Ryth just got home from school and they've run into Tobias. So let's crack straight in. She fucking ran from us, barely glancing towards me before scurrying to her room. She should lock herself in there and never come out. If she knew what was inside my head, she would. The moment she was gone, I turned to him, my brother. Look at me like that, T, and I'll lay you out. Look at her like that, brother, and I'll do more than lay you out. His lips curled into a snarl. You gonna do this here? It's my house. It's our fucking house, Tobias, and it's about time you remember that. Caleb's door opened and he strode out. Remember what? That little brother here has had long enough to get rid of that goddamn chip on his shoulder. Nick, Caleb cautioned. No, my brother snapped, turning his pissed off glare my way. It's about time we had this out. I'm not doing this, I forced the words from my clenched teeth. Fine, walk away, go hide in your goddamn room like you're so damn good at. But this has to stop, Tobias. Mum wouldn't. He didn't have time to finish. I lunged across the landing and swung, hitting the bastard in the jaw. Then we went to the floor when he swung back. Tobias! Caleb roared as I straddled Nick, but I didn't hear him. Mine. The word roared inside my head as I swung, connecting with my brother's cheek. His head snapped sideways, turning that hot, pissed-off look into his eyes, cold, hard rage. I swung again, unleashing a tirade of blows until my rage became all I could see. Some connected, some missed, driving through the air an inch from his nose. Didn't matter who I hit, I just needed to get it out. Get it all out, all the pain and the hurt, all the fucking loneliness. God, I missed Mum. T, for fuck's sake! Nick unleashed a hard blow, catching me right on the nose. Stars erupted behind my eyes as I rocked backwards. The bastard didn't waste the opportunity, grabbing me around the throat with both hands and shoving me off him. Calm the fuck down, bro, he yelled as the sound of Dad's car drifted in from outside. The engine of his Mercedes only infuriated me more. He was out there with another fucking woman. I swung again, even as Nick's grip around my throat clenched tighter. The blow landed on his cheek once more in the same spot as the last one. The cheek was already red, his eyes wild and teeth bared as laughter came from the doorway and spilled through the house. We're back, boys, Dad called. Ryth, honey! That bitch summoned her own. In an instant, my rage was consumed into a vacuum and my world along with it. I shoved away from my brother's grip on my neck, sucking in hard gulps of air. You're fucking losing it, Nick stabbed his finger at me and shoved up to stand, the corner of his lip bloody. I didn't care that he was bleeding, didn't care about anything. Movement came from the corner of my eye, and I turned my head, finding her standing in her doorway, eyes wide, watching us in horror. The way she stood there, so fucking small, so fucking insignificant. A reminder of everything I'd lost. My gaze went to that ugly fucking mark on her cheek as I strode closer. What the fuck are you looking at? She flinched and took a step back, her eyes darting to my brother's behind me. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop from grasping her around the throat with one hand, my thumb grazing her pulse, barely hard enough to hurt her and force her against the wall, dropping my mouth to her ear. You think I don't know what you did? Hard breaths burned deeper. So you'll show him and not me? We'll see about Ryth. We'll fucking see about that. Fuck you, she gasped under my grip and forced her gaze to mine. Tears shimmered in her eyes, but under that was something else. pain. That was it. "We have wedding cake to try," that fucking whore downstairs called. The ugly mark turned even darker on Ryth's cheek, and I curled my lips at the sight before shoving away. She gasped and coughed, touching the red mark I'd left behind. "You're losing it, T," Caleb snarled behind me, closing in so they wouldn't hear downstairs. "Leash it, or else." "Or else what?" I jerked my gaze to him. "Or else what, Caleb?" "Boys," our father called out. I just held my brother's stare. I wanted to punch the fuck out of him too. I wanted to hit them all and keep hitting them. I turned my focus back to Ryth. All but her. I didn't want to hit her. I wanted to own her. I sucked in a hard breath, and that faint, unmistakable scent of vanilla plunged inside me, invading my nose and my senses, until I turned and strode from my bedroom, slamming the door behind me with a boom. Goddamn fucking bitch. I stood there in the middle of my room, listening to her muffled words as they tried to console her. A door slammed a second later. I didn't need a goddamn map to know whose it was. My chest rose and fell at that savagery inside me, as that savagery inside me calmed to a wounded fucking lion level. "Fuck you," her choked words resurfaced. "Fuck me?" The little bitch didn't know who she was playing with. I clenched my jaw and glanced towards the bed, my gaze seeking out the corner of her white cotton panties as they peeked from under the spare pillow. "Fuck you." There'd been fire in her eyes when she'd said that. Real fucking fire. The knowledge of that moved deeper, so my little mouse was growing some teeth. My cock twitched even as the damn side of my face throbbed, and I touched my tender jaw and winced, but that hunger still arose inside me. The little fucking mouse. I strode to the bed, grabbed her panties, and lifted them to my nose. Fucking vanilla. I reached for the zipper of my pants and grabbed myself from beside the pillow and brought up Nick's message. I watched her fuck herself this morning in my car, her pussy on full fucking display. I want it, so I'm telling you, T, back the fuck off. She showed Nick her cunt. I reached inside my pants and gripped my cock. Christ, I was already hard. She showed Nick her pretty little virgin cunt. I closed my eyes. She'd fuck him. I just knew it. She'd fuck Caleb too. All three of us, taking turns with her. The way we fucked, we'd ruin her by morning. I'd barely fisted myself before my balls tightened. All three of us taking turns over and over and over again. Be our little secret, our own private fucking whore. She'd do anything we wanted. Anything at all. My ass tightened and the vein under my cock kicked as I came hard and fast and empty. I opened my eyes. The thought of that resounding inside the darkness. I barely felt the ache in my jaw anymore. All I felt was that hunger. The image of all three of us riding her into oblivion. My fingers shook as I dropped my cock and grabbed my cell, opening up Nick's message once more. T, you want her? Well, so do I. And press send. A second was all it took for him to reply. What the fuck are you saying? I lifted my gaze from the message, the image of her underneath me while my brother fucked her mouth, and her ass rose inside me. We'll have her. We'll all have her. Nick, what do you mean, all? T, you figure it out. Silence. Silence while I waited for him to get it together. He was never the sharpest tool in the shed. Or maybe he didn't have the balls. Maybe he was comfortable fucking a bitch who he knew cheated on him. Beep. I looked down. Nick, you're a sick fuck, brother. Almost as sick as C, but I like it. I like it a fucking lot. I'm in. Yes, I murmured, my face hurting as I smiled. Y'all are brother now. I glanced towards the door. How to convince Caleb he wants this as much as we do. I didn't know how to do it, but I knew he wanted it. I wanted to see her as she bucked and screamed, pleading with us to stop. And I wanted to see her finally give in to what her body craved to us. I opened my texts and started typing. And that is it. Hard and fast for that one. Next week, well, this week. This week, next chapter is with Ryth, so we'll see how she feels all about this. But yeah, I guess I'm just going to end it there because we've got shit to do. Life to get on with. And yeah, so anyway, until next time, smutty reading. Love, love.